Name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute or less video. I have a whole team of former IRS agents that work with me and for me. You can look at my cast of characters, and I've been on TV a lot. You can look at all my interviews at 777irs.com. And by the way, I worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades. I've been doing this, unfortunately, for 50 years. 50 years. Anyway, I want to talk to you today about when do you need to get audit representation. I get that a lot. I get a lot of people call me and says, hey, I'm going through an audit. When do I need representation? What should I do? That's a really, really good question, because most people, when they get an audit, it strikes fear in them, and it should. It's going to go into their pocketbook, and IRS, remember, can expand the audit from the initial audit to 3 years, 4 years in the case of a large omission of income. So IRS, in fact, can go back at least 3 years into your audit. So you've got to ask yourself, and these are common sense things. We do IRS audit representation, and these are pretty much questions I ask the people. So A, do you have skeletons in your closet? If you do, you shouldn't represent yourself. Number 2, is this a large amount of money we're dealing with? You shouldn't represent yourself. Number 3, and most important, is how good do you feel about the return? Really, really, really important. So if you feel that your records are about an 8 or a 9, you can go in and represent yourself. Nothing wrong with that. If you think you're about a 4, 5, or 6, it's time that you need representation. So I always say to someone who calls me, what is the strength of your tax return when you're providing documentation and support? It's that simple. If you have a really tight return and you feel really good about it, you don't need to call anybody. Just go in yourself and do the audit work yourself. If you don't like what the person says, you can go to appeals. But if you got a little gut feeling that this may not go your way, and you're thinking, gee, should I really hire someone? Do I have the money? Can you hire like a firm like us? Here's the problem is, actually, we wind up saving, and so whoever will represent you many times save you money, because at the end of the day, what you pay the firm, you'd be paying IRS otherwise. So once again, if your audit is tight, your records are tight, and you think you're a good solid 8 on what you can have to substantiate, go in yourself. If you have skeletons in your closet, or you've taken a number of deductions you shouldn't, that's when it's time to get someone. It's just not so much IRS making the deductions. Are they going to hit you with an accuracy penalty? And are they going to open up other years? So just make the decision, vary yourself. It's simple. How good is my tax return? That'll just drive you. We have a whole team of former IRS agents, just so you know. We have an appeals officer, tax court liaison, tax attorneys. Yeah, so if you have an audit, we look at your case for free first before we do any representation or take money. If you think this was good, will you give me a subscription? We thrive on subscriptions. I appreciate you doing so. Thank you very much.